Hi, I'm Sherry Moline, and this is my speech on the People Speak for our class. I'll start by reading my research paper, and then I will perform the speech that I chose. It is, I think, forgotten that the world used to be so conservative. We cry out about basic rights and laws not being followed, but we don't seem to recall that mere decades ago things were so much worse. Emma Goldman lived in a world where she was considered to have highly progressive views. But back then, she would have been called socialist, communist, an anarchist, a feminist, amongst other terms. None of them would have been considered a compliment. Born on June 27, 1869 in Russia, she moved to the United States in 1885 and then settled into a somewhat nomadic life involving varied jobs and giving hotly contested political and social speeches with gentlemen such as Johann Most and, more famously, Alexander Berkman. Both Goldman and Mr. Berkman would end up deported to Russia by 1920 for their radical views. One of the jobs that Emma held was as a midwife for poor immigrants in New York City, and it was through that job that she came to hold the belief that contraception was essential for women's social, sexual, and economic freedom. This was not an especially popular view at the time, and her speeches on the matter, in addition to her distribution of material that advertised support of legal birth control, caused multiple arrests and imprisonment in 1916. Having given many passionate speeches throughout her lifetime and been arrested a fairly astonishing amount of times, I have to assume that Emma Goldman would have been proud of the fact that one of her speeches was chosen for publication in the People Speak, especially after reading that she frequently stated that her most cherished goal was getting people to think. So now I'm going to recite the speech that was in our book. Your Honor, I am charged with the crime of having given information to men and women as to how to prevent contraception. For the last 3 weeks, every night before packed houses, a stirring social indictment is being played at the Candler Theater. I refer to Justice by John Galsworthy. The counsel for the defense, in summing up the charge against the defendant, says, amongst other things, Your Honor, back of the commission of every crime is life, palpitating life. Now, what is the palpitating life back of my crime? I will tell you, Your Honor. According to the Bulletin of the Department of Health, 30 million people in America are underfed. Your Honor, what kind of children do you suppose these parents can bring into the world? I will tell you. Children so poor and anemic that they take their leave from this, our kind world, before their first year of life. In that way, 300,000 babies, according to the Baby Welfare Association, are sacrificed in the United States every year. This is, Your Honor, the palpitating life which has confronted me for many years and which is back of the commission of my crime. After all, the question of birth control is largely a working men's question, above all a working woman's question. She it is who risks her health, her very life in giving out of herself the units of our race. She it is who ought to have the means and knowledge to say how many children she shall give, and to what purpose she shall give them, and under what conditions she shall bring forth life. And this is true, not only because of what I say or may not say. There is much profounder reason for the tremendous growth and importance of birth control. The reason is conditioned in the great modern social conflict, or rather social war, I should say. A war not for military conquest or material supremacy, a war of the oppressed and disinherited of the earth against their enemies, capitalism and the state, a war for a seat at the table of life, a war for well-being, for beauty, for liberty. Above all, this war is for a free motherhood and a joyful, playful, glorious childhood. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to reading any notes, as I believe we're leaving peer commentaries on this one. Have a wonderful day.